Origins of Eric O'Grady. After stealing prototype Ant-Man armor from S.H.I.E.L.D., Eric O'Grady became the irredeemable Ant-Man, the world's most unlikable superhero. He spent time as a member of the Initiative, the Thunderbolts, and the Secret Avengers before he was killed. He was reborn as an evil synthetic version of himself and went freelance with Taskmaster. Eric O'Grady was a low-level agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and is the third man to use the superhero code name Ant-Man. O'Grady's best friend and fellow S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Chris McCarthy had been chosen to wear Dr. Henry Pym's latest prototype of the Ant-Man suit. When McCarthy was killed during a Hydra attack on S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, Eric immediately stole the armor from his best friend's dead body. O'Grady has proven to be a man of very few morals, with willingness to lie, steal, and manipulate to suit his own selfish plans, which include using his superhero status to stalk women. O'Grady is often depicted engaging in humorous and questionable acts, and his bravado and arrogance have regularly put him in dangerous and compromising situations. Yet as Ant-Man, O'Grady still manages to be a hero. After repeatedly abusing the powers of Ant-Man for his own gain, Eric O'Grady ended up saving the life of a child and being offered a job by Damage Control. Later he would defend Manhattan during World War Hulk, but is eventually arrested by S.H.I.E.L.D. O'Grady is rescued from torture at the hands of his former colleague Mitch Carson by Iron Man, who, along with Hank Pym, reluctantly agrees that O'Grady is the most capable of handling the Ant-Man suit. They return the suit to him in exchange for him joining the Initiative. Despite admitting to his ex-girlfriend Abigail that he loves her and that he is trying to change, O'Grady continues his lewd and irredeemable ways, particularly as part of the Thunderbolts, after Norman Osborn takes over S.H.I.E.L.D., rebranding it as Hammer. He is eventually offered a position with the Secret Avengers by Steve Rogers, who believes that O'Grady can be a better person. Inspired, he willingly throws himself into danger. However, he is killed by the Descendants and resurrected as an evil robot double. Rebranding himself as the Black Ant, O'Grady established himself as a mercenary and criminal for hire, working regularly with Taskmaster. Eric moved to New York and used his suit to stalk a woman named Beth and even spy on Ms. Marvel. He shortly met the Black Fox while the latter was breaking in a jewelry store. The Black Fox first thought he was dealing with a superhero, but Eric let the Fox know he merely used his costume for his own gain and would not turn him in if the Fox would split the money from the jewel theft with him. After this incident, Eric and the Fox became friends whom often visited each other playing various games on their Xbox. After some time, Eric came into contact with a woman who gave him a chance to join the Damage Control cooperation in their search and rescue branch, and has started a relationship with Abigail Dunton, aka Visioneer, and a new friendship with fellow employee Monstro. He suddenly found himself surrounded by a loving girlfriend and her young daughter, whom Eric had a good relationship with. His new relationships and his time with Damage Control started to change Eric slightly, and he really started to help people out. He even helped battle the Hulk and his Warbound during the World War Hulk storyline. Before he found cover at Damage Control, Eric had a run-in with Zane Ashgar, the Ant-Man of 2549. He scanned some ants that Eric was currently controlling and was standoffish about his reasons. As he time-traveled back to his home time, Eric got into a fight with Critty Knoll, the Skrull posing as Hank Pym, who thought Eric was onto him. Eric got caught in the time platform and found himself in 2549 with a younger version of Hank Pym. Mistaking him for the Hank Pym that just attacked him, Eric knocked this Hank Pym out, leaving him alone against an All-Father Ultron. While evading the Asgardian upgrade Ultron, O'Grady accidentally caused the distraction that allowed Zane, Pym, and present-day Scott Lang to form a plan around an aging Ray Scott had on his person when Zane retrieved him from the timeline. They reversed the aging process that turned Ultron into an All-Father in the first place and sent him back into the time stream. Eric was happy to take credit. The Initiative. He then joined the Initiative and got into a fight with Stature for telling lies about her father, and former Ant-Man, Scott Lang, to impress their instructor Taskmaster. When Kia attacked Camp Hammond, rather than help battle the villain and save lives, O'Grady instead decided to sit this one out and watch an episode of Chuck on his iPod with Taskmaster. Secret Invasion. O'Grady again turned sheep during the Skrulls' secret invasion of Earth, and instead of going out into the battlefield with the other recruits, he shrunk down and hid behind at Camp Hammond. Discovering that the Skrulls had made Camp Hammond their base of operations, O'Grady was reluctantly forced to actually do something to help Earth's conflict. Eric was the first recruit for Hank Pym's new Lethal Legion. Hank had returned from a future where he had been bonded to Ultron. The power to do so had aged and weakened him, but he was worried Ultron had returned with him. He needed an Ant-Man to help him control insects to fake the deaths of other villains to join the team and stand guard until Ultron resurfaced. Unfortunately, a biological virus version of Ultron was still embedded in Pym and working with O'Grady. O'Grady was secretly implanting the Legion members with pieces of programming that Ultron would be able to network into a hive mind army. They were activated as soon as Avengers, Inc. tracked them down over the missing supervillains. Avengers, Inc. member, Victor Stone, was actually an earlier Ultron program that saw Pym as a father, which had taken over the body of Whirlwind. He had been lying in wait for Ultron to make his move so that he could protect Pym. With Avengers Inc. taking on the Lethal Legion, O'Grady attempted an escape only to be caught by Ant-Man and his daughter, who Wasp had called in as secret backup. Power and abilities. G.I. Ant-Man suit. With the aid of Pym particles, Eric has the ability to shrink to the size of an ant or grow to the size of a tall building. Ant-Man helmet. He can communicate telepathically with insects via a cybernetic helmet. Insect legs. The suit also possesses 2 robotic arms that release from the back when shrunk. They work as a jetpack to stabilize any jumps he performs when shrunk. They also enhance his balance and allow for wall crawling. Strength. At insect size, he is compact but retains normal size strength. At giant size, his strength is enhanced proportionately. Shield. Agent. Eric O'Grady has standard shield. Weapons training. LMD. As a life model decoy, Eric is stronger, faster, more durable, and more agile than a normal human. Quick repair. Stored nanites allow for self-repairs of most battle damage.